Otakuology podcast with Otaku Mike Engine Graves.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of the Otakuology podcast. I'm your host, Otaku Mike. With me, as always, is my co-host / heterosexual life partner, Jen. How's it going, buddy?
Pretty good.
That's good to hear.
Feel like I don't talk to you every day.
Because we don't talk every day.
I know we text every day.
Not every day. Sometimes you take a while to get back to me when texting.
Maybe you should send me something else besides what you said.
No. Never.
It's kind of like one of those things, you know, like if you're dating somebody and like, does my butt look big in these pants? And you're like, do I say something with the fear of them either being mad or do I wait?
The answer always is yes.
You make those, you fill out those pants.
Yeah. You do.
They make your butt look thick. You gotta say it just like that, guys. Because if you don't say it like that, how will they know about the love?
Thick. Yeah.
You gotta mention all the C's that are a part of it.
It's so thick you can take a bite out of it.
Oh my god. We're not going into cannibalism on the podcast, okay?
Butter my butt and call me a biscuit.
Definitely not. I didn't know you were into that stuff.
I saw it on a
I might have to question our friendship.
No,
I might have to question our friendship.
I saw it on a bumper sticker one day. It was on somebody's car.
Be like, so have you ever buttered his
his butt and called him a biscuit? Oh yeah.
No, I'm getting disturbing images in my head.
But
I imagine you doing like a boudoir set with like butter on
your butt. I'm a biscuit. Eat me up.
Be like, hey girls, here's your biscuit. You ready for it?
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Oh, but we are.
You need a moment to gather your thoughts.
I need a moment to compose myself.
Oh my gosh. But today, guys, we're going to talk about this controversial topic of what's going to happen to our dear old RightStuf.
I gotta be honest, though. I don't know if it really is controversial. I just feel like it just came out of nowhere. I feel like.
It's hella controversial.
Huh?
I think it's hella controversial.
I think it's hella controversial? Well, we'll get into that.
Hella controversial.
So, we found out this week that apparently RightStufAnime.com, the best place to get all your anime and manga from, for the past, 30-something years it was, is shutting down in October. I think the second week of October, I think it is.
They've been alive since over 30 years, though.
Yeah, that's I know. It's been over 30 years since they've been around. Yeah.
Late 80s.
Yeah, so I mean, they've been, I don't want to say like a pinnacle of the anime, manga, otaku sphere, but they have been. But
they were.
Actually, they were kind of like that hidden niche website where you got all your stuff. You very much heard about RightStuf through like he said, she said, like the grapevine of otaku nerddom, I would say. Because I first heard about it from my friend Sean. He told me about it. And I was like, what's RightStuf? I've never heard of this website, you know? So, like...
Yeah. When they had the Dark Lord,
Sean Kleckner. And he sold RightStuf off like a year ago, I think it was. It was like a year ago, right?
Yeah, it's like a year ago.
It was like a year ago. But according to the report, the article, Crunchyroll is shutting down. RightStuf is shutting down and moving over to the Crunchyroll store According to them, they're still going to have good deals and stuff like that. I've never actually shopped at the Crunchyroll store.
I've never shopped at the
I
Crunchyroll
never,
store.
I never shopped there before, but I always shopped at like RightStuf or Amazon
I
or
don't.
whatever.
I don't really think a lot of us have shopped at the Crunchyroll store.
I mean, I don't know. I've never heard like good things come from the Crunchyroll store. So like, I don't know. Like we had like this weird when RightStuf got purchased by Crunchyroll / Sony, whatever you want to call it. We had a big shift to begin with. They took all their adult titles off and moved it to a different website. I've never been to this other website or seen this other website. I don't even remember what it was called. Do you remember what it was called?
No, I
But
don't even
that
know if it exists anymore.
I don't know if it exists anymore either. Like I agree with you on that. And like, why wasn't that mentioned in the report? In the announcement, like, oh, sorry guys, like we don't have, we're not going to touch this adult stuff anymore. Like the adult stuff is not moving over to Crunchyroll. So where's it going? That's what I want to know.
Right. Well, where did it go originally?
It went to like some like I think it was like Arrow Anime something. I don't remember what it was called.
But is that still a part of Crunchyroll or?
I think it was an offshoot of Crunchyroll.
Okay.
I think. I'm not for sure. But this sent the anime world ablaze and a shock and awe. People were wondering if it was real, what's going to happen to their orders, stuff like that. Apparently, all the orders are going to be like, I guess, transferred over or fulfilled.
Yeah, you're gonna get your shit from RightStuf up until like October 15th.
Yeah, I think that's what it was, right? Yeah.
And then if it's after that, then you have to go to the Crunchyroll whatever website thing to order and purchase all that stuff.
Yeah. So all your pre-orders that for the rest of this year are basically kaput. But I mean, it's I guess it's like par for the course, because a lot of
I don't know.
a lot of times this happens when companies merge. One company goes away and one company stays. That happened with Funimation when Funimation got bought out.
This is true.
That they got bought out, and their a lot of their stuff like went up and doesn't exist really anymore. Like the company still exists, they still have their app, but it's not as prominent as like Crunchyroll is. It's only
Right.
They only still have it because I believe like with the stuff with like the licensing that they have for animes, they can't just move it over the Crunchyroll at this time. But I kind of like it.
Do you think that was part of what took them so long for this year was moving over the licenses from like under RightStuf Incorporated or whatever it was to Crunchyroll LLC or whatever the hell it was?
I would say so. Trying to figure out what they were going to do, because I figure like the RightStuf offices will probably still be around as like a shipping distribution, because like they were in like where were they were in like a very good spot for like shipping, like from like around the US. They're like I think like right smack dab in the middle of the US or something.
Yeah.
And I feel like that might be still around. It'll be interesting to see like what goes on, like because like with like Sentai Filmworks, a lot of their distribution for like ordering stuff was through RightStuf. Like
Right.
when you would order from like the Sentai Filmworks website, you would get like a box from RightStuf,
Right.
and stuff like that. But it'll be interesting to see like what's going on. I was shocked, but I wasn't like 100% like, oh my god, this is the end. Like, oh, like get your pitchforks. Let's boycott some shit. I don't know. Get angry. I wasn't angry. I was kind of like sad, almost like losing a friend that you've known for a really long time, and that
Yeah,
friend like
because
just goes away.
it's the loss of an heir.
Yeah, very much a loss of air, and how much like Right Stuff meant to so many people, because I mean, they sponsored my channel. They sponsored. Did they sponsor your channel too at one point
Yeah,
for YouTube and stuff like
they
that?
sponsored. I was one of the first ones that they sponsored,
Yeah,
and
and
it
they
really
worked.
like hit it off for other people to take that leap into
They worked
asking,
with
and
like a bunch of like
a bunch of shows that I was
YouTubers,
on did that too, and
podcasts, stuff like that. So they were like very into like the community, but like even like Sean Kleckner, what hasn't been around like a couple of months after the sale, I believe he left Right Stuff.
yeah,
Like, he just left.
yeah, I think he left that day.
Did he leave that day? Well, I mean, I know he left, and it's kind of like what he got his bag of money and he retired. To do something else. He's a hardworking guy. And you would hear him in like interviews and stuff like that. He loved anime. He loved selling anime to people and stuff like that. What was really I was more worried about, honestly, was the publishing side of Right Stuff. Is what I was worried about, because they
Yeah,
do hold, well, Nozomi Entertainment, which is the publishing arm of Right Stuff, holds like all of Mobile Suit Gundam licensing, holds now Macross licensing, holds all these different like older anime titles, and according to them, like all that's like safe and good, and
yeah.
all that stuff is still coming out. So that's good for me, honestly. Like, I mean, if things go well with this merger, I hope things go well, and like it's still like somewhat like succeeds in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of
Well,
people.
and so here's a thing that I'd like to say on
Uh-huh.
all of that. I really don't think that part of the stuff is actually going to be all that great. Only because of this simple fact. We have heard some of this stuff from other content creators that are sponsored or originally
Yeah.
sponsored by Right Stuff.
Yeah.
And until like the article came out, they didn't know about it. And
No.
somebody that you're in affiliation with, you would think that they would kind of like give you a heads up, and it would start being a conversation piece like early on. But until
Yeah.
this article came out, none of them knew about that either.
The only ones who knew about it were the businesses that they deal with, like the different like anime licensors and stuff
Yeah,
like
but
that.
that's different. That's what I'm saying. Like the business thing is totally different compared to who your affiliate
Yeah.
people are.
Yeah.
Which in that sense they are still technically like a business. They should have been notified on any of that
Well,
because changes to things will also affect channels and how you brand your stuff and other things like that.
I mean, affiliates only got like a certain amount. They got like minimal money, like not a lot of money. They don't get a lot of money. Unless you use that link, you don't get money, and stuff like that. They would get like maybe a couple dollars, stuff like that. I've heard
Yeah,
from some podcasts, that I listen to, uh, and whatnot.
yeah.
Uh, but I mean, the affiliates were really just there to fucking for free advertisement for Right Stuff. In all
That's
honesty,
that's true, but like I said, you basically just moved on to the next phase without like letting any
yeah.
of them know.
I mean,
And
They were probably
that's
they were
one.
probably waiting for like the ink to dry on the contracts, and stuff like that, and probably more worried about getting their interface and website going and stuff like that. Everything merging over and stuff like that.
Right. But that's also a sign, I feel like, of the future that everything is about to change and we are going to see a price bump, price increase on buying this stuff and a bigger hike.
How so?
I mean, I mean, I honestly feel like it'll probably turn into exactly what uh, Barnes and Noble and everything is. Like if you
Mm-hmm.
order from their online shop. But at that point, even if they did something like that, we're all going to still buy from Barnes and Noble or whatever because they've been that way.
Yeah.
Right Stuff. Well, Crunchyroll is now going to lose so many people by doing that it's going to happen. I mean, that's just what happens when you get a new brand merger and everything.
I'm really curious if other people are going to go to different avenues to get their stuff now. You know, and not
Most
just
definitely.
rely on Crunchyroll or Right Stuff. You know,
Most
they
definitely. I think they'll probably get it from the company themselves. So like if you're gonna order Ghost Ship, you're gonna order it
yeah,
from Ghost Ship. If
yeah,
you're
or just
getting
order it from or Amazon, order from Amazon. You know,
too.
I
Because
feel like go
I
ahead.
mean, all this stuff and how that happened, that the thing with them not showing us like the us being able to know that the through like the affiliate people,
Hmm.
I think also like just speaks volumes of that.
Question
We're
is,
not
do they get rid of the affiliate people? Like, do they stop like
probably
affiliating with them? You know,
probably
like they
either
won't
that or
they won't
either
necessarily
that
need
or
them because Crunchyroll's everywhere.
right. Either that or what will happen. And I think there's probably always going to be an affiliate thing, but I think half of the people that we know that have had an affiliate through them
Hmm.
are actually going to get let go through that because they're going to say we don't need as many.
Yeah.
They're going to do that, or people are going to have to reapply and the circumstances that they had before are going to change.
That's pretty true, you know.
I
Yeah,
mean, and not only that, but I can tell you, like, for instance, why, like, even on this platform that you and I are on, like, what was it that we talked about? Hey, if we get to 100 listeners or whatever,
yeah, it was
like,
100 listeners. Yeah,
like we'll get a little bit, and there was a little thing before that, like, because we got
we had to get
grandfathered
50.
in,
We had to get 50 listeners,
yeah,
50
and
individual listeners.
we got grandfathered in for that, and then it bumped up to 100, and now it's 1,000.
Yeah,
Like, that's what's going to happen. And so a handful of people that we know are probably not going to be able to still do that.
yeah.
And it'll probably be even more hectic than like the YouTube, having the YouTube channels where you're getting paid and stuff.
I mean, as long as my Nozomi Entertainment stuff is fine and safe and gets published and been made, I don't give a fuck what they do. To be honest, you
I mean,
know.
and it may still be that, but there might be a price hike now for you to have to spend,
I mean,
instead of
that's fine. Like, I'm not like worried about that necessarily. You know, with buying anime, there's always like that
uh
that
I
price
would
hike.
definitely be worried about that though.
I mean, but like they're always known for like giving deals. You know, those deals might not always be the same deals, but they could still be good deals.
Yeah.
You know, they even said like the Christmas holiday sale is going to happen, but just be a little different. How is that going to be different? Is this going to be like 1 week, 2 weeks, a month? You know, are we going to get new things every month, or is everything going to be out all out at once? You know, we'll have to see.
I don't know. I think a little different just means that we're going to completely go in and bomb it and do it their way. And
I probably feel like we won't probably get like as good as discounts for the holiday sales or good discounts, you know. But I mean, at least they'll be discounted, you know. Like when like so like say Sentai Filmworks. Sentai Filmworks charges an arm and a leg for their anime when it's
right,
not on sale. So most people buy from them when they are on sale. So you get stuff for like very good prices because usually it's like $60 to $70 for like an anime set from them, because they're a smaller company that have to charge those prices. I'm
Right.
curious if Nozomi will be that way as well. Who knows? All I know is I want my Dirty Pair Blu-ray set, and I want Macross to come out, and I want Gundam to still be published over in the US. That's honestly all I care about.
Yeah.
I was like, when I was reading, I was like, okay, where's the stuff I care about? I don't really care about this merger thing.
Yeah.
Are my titles still safe where I can buy them?
I don't know. I feel like we're gonna have. I mean, especially just knowing like the whole stuff with Funimation. I think
Yeah.
that's kind of our first sight into it because of all the shit that happened with that.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't say, oh yeah, well, it was shitty what they did with rights or with Funimation, and then assume that
They weren't going to do
RightStuf
it
is
right stuff.
yeah, RightStuf's going to be a better deal,
Yeah, because I mean, what normal person knows about RightStuf anime?
Right.
Not many people. Who knows about Crunchyroll? A lot of people.
Right.
Right.
Well, and I just think that the reason why they're doing it is because they do think that their name does have farther reaches. But I think the problem behind it is it's going to be that because the name has farther reaches, there's going to be a different way of advertising things. There's going to be a different way of doing a lot of it. And that's where the constraint is going to be for us to pay an arm and a leg and do all this other stuff, which is going to hurt us as the consumer in the end.
Speaking of like the name of Crunchyroll, I gotta be honest, with this merger, I feel like they dropped the ball. They should have called it Crunchy Stuff.
That's true too. I do like that.
Why did they call it Crunchy Stuff? It's perfect.
That's true.
No. Man, who would have thought the little pirate site that could went legit, got bought out by Sony, or is it no? Funimation got bought out by Sony. Crunchyroll, and then about Crunchyroll, I believe, merged with Funimation, then goes and buys RightStuf. Like, that's just fucking crazy to think about. In the long run, who would have ever thought an illegal streaming site would be so powerful nowadays?
Once a pirate site, though, always a pirate site.
Once a pirate site, always a pirate site.
Yeah.
But like, what did you think about this? I know you had seemed kind of angry a little bit.
We got a lot of shit coming on the horizon.
Because you sent this to me, and I was like, huh. Well, that's kind of sad.
Yeah.
I'm
just going to say, I feel like everybody should buy all the manga that they want and can as of this point, because after this, I really don't think we're going to have as good as an outlet that we think that we are going to want without it being an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
I mean, if we had such a problem before of people like pirating manga and doing all this before, I think it's about to get even worse.
Maybe. We'll see.
Because if the prices rise at all, how many people are we going to have that go through that? How many people are we going to have that go through that go, well, I can't afford this manga?
Yeah, but people do that anyways.
Yeah, but what do you do whenever it actually happens and it does go up?
True, but I don't think like prices are not necessarily gonna go up. Maybe a little bit. You won't always get the good discount, like I said, but I do feel like this could possibly get anime and manga to more people out there. In a sense, like the reach of RightStuf is so big, this could like even grow like the anime community even more. It could, how people say like, oh, it's the death of physical media. Maybe physical media gets resurrected and more people buy anime, more people buy manga, because
Yeah.
some people don't know where to go. Where do you go now? You go to the Crunchyroll store. You know,
Yeah. I don't
just
know.
just buy
I
it.
think it's going to be the opposite.
Who knows? We never know really, and we're just sitting here speculating, just like the rest of the people in on YouTube or in podcasts and stuff like that. You know, like it's
That's true,
all really speculation.
but we have seen a lot of other times like this happen. Like one of the people that I talked to made the comparison that this is going to be like a Disney move. And then right after they said that, they were like, yeah, but Disney's running all the shit that they buy into the ground.
You're not wrong.
So, I mean, that basically also told me, like, hey, well, if that's any indicator, then that means that this shit's getting run into the ground as well.
Yeah.
So,
It is what it is. It's just pour one out for RightStufAnime.com. Pour one out for the homie because it was fun while it lasted. I had some really good memories on Right Stuff, or like one of our podcasts where we were like, oh, what do we can find on Right Stuff,
yeah,
all the times, all the money I spent on the Christmas sale, buying so much anime and so much manga and stuff like that, like going crazy looking every week to see what would come out on the birthday sale or Christmas sale, and finding cool shit,
right.
finding cool deals in the clearance section and stuff like that. It was fun getting that Right Stuff catalog in the mail, which they don't do anymore. Kind of sad,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, see, and that was the weird thing talking to somebody else about it that I told them. I said, it's really weird. I said, I can remember where they just had the little metal shelves that they had put together,
Yeah,
and you would see images of that. And then whenever you got your receipt, it was actually on a Scantron paper sheet,
yeah,
so you would get all your stuff like that. And then, like, so I mean, like, I've been a part of buying stuff from Right Stuff for a long enough time, which I guess was about I'd say about 10 years, 2013, 2012.
I think I started buying from myself in 2009, 2000,
You started before me.
2009, 2010 maybe. Well, because
You
the
started
first thing
before me.
the first thing I ever bought was Beck Mongolian Chop Squad.
You started way before me.
I guess because my friend, she was like, "Man, they got Beck on here for like $20," and I'm like,
Didn't
"What?"
even graduate till out of high school till 2010, buddy.
I was like, "What?" I was like, "What?" Oh, I gotta get this because I was looking for it, And I remember, like, I didn't have like a credit card or like bank card at the time, um, and I was like,
Yeah,
"Mom, I need to borrow your credit card. I gotta buy this anime," you know, and I was like, I can't wait for this to come, and I waited, and I still have that set, and I still have that memory of buying it from Right Stuff and continuously buying from Right Stuff. It's very
yeah.
almost like it's very almost like when Hastings died, I would say.
This is true. Yeah,
You know,
I could
because
see
like
that one. Yeah,
I would buy stuff from Hastings like every Monday. I would go buy some anime every week. I would buy something, and it very much feels the same. But Hastings was this more slow, painful death. This is just a merger, so it's not as slow and painful. You know,
we hope.
we hope. But do you have any final thoughts to end this podcast?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Uh, get your shit done early. Get what you need to now. If you got a second mortgage your house, get your manga. Because obviously you're gonna have to prepare for the storm that we don't know is coming.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, whether it is good or it's bad, I would say just prepare for or whatever, because we don't exactly know what's gonna happen. You know.
It could be a hurricane or a tiny drizzle. A light sprinkling. You never know.
Could be that Zangief suplex coming from Otaku Mike in the right corner.
But this was a fun little episode to do. It's bittersweet, I have to say. So long, RightStuf. We'll see you when you morph into Crunchyroll. Hope everything goes okay with the merger, and I hope people
we'll
don't
see
lose
you,
their jobs.
We'll see you, Space Cowboy.
We'll see you, Space Cowboy.
And see all of you next Tuesday.